What's up? February 7th, Football Friday, the last Football Friday of the year.
Oh, God. That hit me like a ton of bricks.
It's off. Yeah.
It means that much closer to baseball.
And the tournament, I will say that.
See, there's all sorts of good stuff on the horizon.
As good as football.
Brought to you by Game Time.
Not even close.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much better.
The big game is here, and there's no better time to get out to some games with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature. They're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Philly is looking to knock off Kansas City and New Orleans, and you've got to get your tickets with Game Time. I was looking at tickets for the big game and saw an amazing Game Time Picks deal for great seats, only $2,600, down nearly like $1,000 already. So $2,600
At least, I think, right?
Yeah. $2,600. Just pull up your chosen event. That's the get-in price, $2,600. Just pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those tickets to the big game. Those big game tickets now with Game Time Picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PICKS, P-I-C-K-S, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code P-I-C-K-S for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. All right, we're going to get obviously into the Super Bowl, kind of cover all the basis of feel of the game, which way we're going picks. I think it might be a clean sweep. I know Ev is very concerned with always being the 50th, 1,000th guy online at the party and usually zags when people zig. So, again, I haven't really talked to him about the game, so to speak, but I do think it might be a clean sweep, so we'll figure that out. But friend of the program last night, Mark in Philly, obviously, Marty hits his Josh Allen MVP ticket. I didn't really have a horse in the race, so to speak. But he puts up a bunch of tweets. Phil, can you pull those up? Or one specifically. It basically came down to this. Josh Allen's Josh Allen's career highs, none of which were higher than Lamar Jackson last year.
Yeah. I mean, Lamar Jackson should have been the MVP.
Okay, I didn't know we were going to have.
That's how I see it. See, the way I'm looking at this season. A lot of people are pointing to, Josh Allen should have won it last year over Lamar. The first time Lamar won it, he should have won. To me, those have nothing to do with. We're discussing this season's award, 2024. A lot of people talking about the playoff game. Again, irrelevant. It's like something in a case that would be thrown out by the judge. The playoff game has nothing to do with this award. It's a regular season award. It is the most valuable player. Now, a lot of people are choosing to do he's more valuable to the team.
Right.
The team's not as good. I don't know. I think that is getting incredibly overblown. We're acting like Lamar, basically because of Derrick Henry, that Lamar Jackson has this stable of weapons, and that Josh Allen is out there playing 1-on-11.
Well, you also had Zay Flowers.
But why are we Zay Flowers? He's a good player. Why are we acting like this guy's
better than any receiver the Bills have? Right?
I also need to clarify
a little bit.
There are some stats.
I'm just saying.
There are some stats Lamar tied, and he's a little bit lower in total yards.
I just think we're acting like Josh Allen. They just drafted Keon Coleman with a first-round pick. They traded for Amari Cooper. Right. They drafted Kincaid the year before in the first round. Mm-hmm. Why are we pretending he has Pro Bowl offensive linemen? Buffalo is a very good offensive line.
Bills did have a better record than the Ravens. Only by a game, but
they did by a game. If we want to do that, they play in the regular season. The Ravens won 45-10 or 30, whatever it was, 35-10, 45-10, a massacre blowout. I'm not even saying that should be the determining factor, but when people start bringing up the playoff game, I'm like, okay.
Oh, well, that doesn't count. No one should.
Playoff game
is irrelevant to this conversation. The votes came in before the playoff game happened, so we just got to throw that away. I honestly, this is I can see both sides of this. I think both. You can make a very good case that either guy deserved it. I know that's down the middle, but
because last year there was knocks in both of them where Lamar threw 20 more touchdown passes this year, or 17, something like that, a way higher number. Last year it was kind of in this weird spot where Purdy was about to win, then he had the horrible game against the Ravens on Christmas, whatever it was, and that kind of fell off. And then Josh Allen had such an unbelievable second half of the year, but he also led the league in picks last year. So everyone talking about he should have won it last year. He led the league in interceptions.
Right.
So, and listen, I don't even think that should totally, take you out of the running. But I think people had a hard time with he had 22 turnovers.
Yeah.
I think people had a hard time giving the MVP to
Lamar 100% deserved it last year. This year, I think you can
even last year, like, I understand the Lamar thing because he threw like 24 touchdown passes. He didn't have like some great, like, his year this year is like one of the all-time years in like NFL history, like, truly.
How many MVPs?
Break it down, like the yards, the rushing yards, 41 touchdowns, 4 picks.
How many MVPs would this have been for Lamar? Would have been his
number 3.
Third in a row?
No, 3 out of like 5.
So do you think that's a little bit of the Gilbert Arenas thing?
It's voter fatigue. If he didn't win it last year, I think Lamar gets it this year. Josh Allen is the first player I think ever, or in like a 30, like 40 plus years, to ever win MVP. He wasn't first team All Pro at his own position.
Steve McNair in 2003.
It was co-MVP with the guy who was first team, so that doesn't count.
So then it's John Elway in 1987.
Wrong.
So yeah, since 87 or something,
okay.
The first time.
No, well, Schefter tweeted it out yesterday.
I knew it was like 30. It was like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, I mean,
and like Mark, obviously has a gripe. He bet it, and he bet it at a big ticket. Like he had a bigger ticket, or 18-1, I think it was. Listen, he has every gripe, but yeah, when again, like from a guy who didn't really have a horse in the race, like I think Clemmer kind of the same way. Like I could see both sides, and then you get a guy who obviously has a horse in the race, and he starts breaking it down. Yeah, and then Ev backed it up too. Like, yeah, it probably should have been Lamar. Like,
I think so.
That's probably going to piss Marty. Like, I'm almost glad he's whatever. He's not jumping down my throat. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. You can make a case for both. At the end of the day, like, I don't want to get too in the weeds. Like, I'm not interested in the big time fight and making it like a massive drag out brawl. But like, I do see both people could have won it for sure.
I mean, former producer of the show, Ebo.
There's a lot of watch the game guys saying, look at the stats about Allen versus Jackson for MVP. They then ignore EPA play being about even and that Josh Allen played with 0 All-Pros. I would have been fine with either winning MVP, but this is a campaign. But this campaign to discredit Allen is overdone.
Lamar had 5 All-Pro teammates.
How many on offense? Henry? Even Henry shouldn't.
I think it only matters. I think it only matters how many All-Pros he has on offense.
Well,
that's not a crazy take.
I think yeah.
That's not a crazy take.
I don't think it's a crazy take at all.
That's yeah. Do you count Pat Ricard as an All-Pro? You mean on offense? That's a fullback.
I mean, that's a little like.
I think that's a reach.
It's a little reach.
How many snaps is the fullback in for?
Just saying.
Like nowadays, maybe 40 years ago, that would have been.
I think that 100% counts.
That counts.
In your running game.
It's actually an All-Pro
backfield.
backfield.
Running quarterback.
Yeah.
And if you're saying like Henry's an All-Pro,
but a
lot
of teams. Am I crazy? A lot of teams.
Did they have 2 running backs for All-Pro?
Yes, I think so.
Because that's where even it's like.
Don't a lot of teams
Saquon really was the All-Pro?
Don't a lot of teams just do single back though?
Yeah.
They do single back
every time, right? Like I want to make sure I'm not fucking missing.
I'd be if Ricard played more than half the snaps, I'd be pretty surprised.
Also, just the other notes, like you want to talk about the stats comparing them. Josh Allen sat out 11 quarters because his team was just that good in winning. Like he needed to pad his stats in the fourth quarter because they were up multiple touchdowns in a lot of games.
But also, even when it comes to like the valuable thing,
It's a fair point.
That counts.
But even when it comes to like the valuable thing, like how many games did they win where like he didn't really do much and they just want like. Because I remember we had the one Thursday night game. They blew him out. He didn't really do anything. Barely played. And this doesn't matter for like the award itself. But you're talking about like the regular season in terms of like his value to the team. If you want to bring up the playoff game, like he threw for 120 yards and they won that game. So it doesn't matter for the award. But I'm saying in terms of like how valuable he really is, they can win a playoff game with him throwing for 125 yards.
The other thing is he didn't really have a bad performance at the end of the year to really like lose the MVP in a way like Purdy did last year.
Yeah.
Like I can't even point to like a bad Josh Allen game this year, honestly, outside of that one, ironically, the Ravens game early in the year.
Also, Patrick Ricard had 500 snaps this year.
How many snaps?
500. So there was only 3 games he played below 50% of the snap count.
It's
and it was 46, 46, 46.
Where was he in the fucking?
It's 29 snaps a game.
Where is he on the fucking field?
The lowest snap count he had was 27.
He's pretty consistent.
Jesus.
So he gets 30 plus pretty much. I see 30. Yeah, he gets a lot of snaps.
He's splitting hairs because like half the teams in the league don't even.
I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at Derrick Henry. I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of snaps.
I was gonna say.
I saw like 43. I was like, holy shit.
Regardless, I think we can all agree the guy that had Lamar Jackson.
I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm completely wrong.
You had to be.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking in my head, I was like, he played that many. The fullback played that many snaps.
He did have 500 snaps.
All right, so he does average 29.
Yeah.
His average is 29.
He did still have. That was right. And then I saw the 500, and then I just started looking at Derrick Henry's, and I started doing the math in my head, and I was like, this is not 500.
Yeah, so he plays like about half the snaps ish.
Yeah, but for context, Lamar had 1,200.
So yeah, you had a ticket on Lamar.
No, I no ticket.
Okay.
That's what people think.
Horse in the race.
I don't have true I didn't lose money last year.
Isn't there a part of you that is just happy like Josh Allen got one? Like, all right, he's a really good player. It's kind of cool we got MVP. You can have that in a resume. To me, like that's kind of where I'm sitting. I'm like, all right,
it's not.
Lamar getting a third one isn't really like Lamar's already a Hall
3
of Famer.
MVPs and no Super Bowl is also like a bad look in a way.
No,
it's not. See, this is
no.
No.
At what point is it a bad look though?
When he's 40, he's fucking still young.
I think you have to, Phil. You have to tell the fucking full story there. Lamar Jackson is an out of this world quarterback.
Only if
very, very good.
Doesn't Ted Williams have 3 MVPs and no World Series ring?
How many does Lamar have now? He's got 2 MVPs.
Two.
He has 2 MVPs. Should have won a third. It is what it is.
Think about
he's playing with a fucking alien in his league. That's why he can't win the Super Bowl.
He's only lost one playoff game to Mahomes.
It's the same excuse with Brady.
Oh my! No.
You're better than that.
No, Meek. Hold on.
Same excuse when guys are playing with Brady. Not a lot of guys stole rings.
Seeding and everything else.
Same with Montana. Like you didn't steal rings. There's just the way it goes. A guy dominates.
You're saying the reason like Lamar hasn't won a Super Bowl is because Mahomes exists. He only lost to him one time.
Yeah, but it affects seeding. It affects everything. It's a trickle down effect.
He really had a home playoff game versus him and lost.
I know. I get it.
So he had the seeding. He had to
no,
buy
but it affects other years as well.
What other years did it affect? The year he had the 1 seed and lost to Ryan Tannehill at home?
How about this past year? How about this past year, Phil?
Mika's so dumb he didn't realize like him. He's like, 3 MVPs, no Super Bowls with bad luck, as opposed to what? No Super Bowls, 1 MVP, as opposed to no Super Bowls, no MVPs. Like that sentence was generally one of the dumbest sentences I've ever heard.
When do you start calling a guy
that 3 MVPs would be a bad look? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Huh? Legitimately, the dumbest.
He's
Holy
also
fuck.
still so young. Like you're already putting a cap in his career.
No, but I'm saying, when do you think it's appropriate?
When he's 45, when he's getting his bust in Canton.
I think that's a little too long.
Okay.
Well, yeah, you're a troll. Like you live for a guy to have MVPs.
Cut someone down.
Yeah, like
all
he wants immediate reaction. Like,
all he has to do is win 1 Super Bowl, and then it's like, okay, you don't have to hear about the loser stuff.
All he has to do. All he has to do.
I have a take that. I really do.
Matt Stafford had a loser thing on him for like 14 years. Then he finally won one, and nobody talks about he just had his career wasted. So let's give
Lamar Jackson then a little benefit of the doubt. He was 27.
I would bet none of these guys.
Just finished his age 27 season, Phil.
Well, he's 28 years old.
All right, sorry, Phil.
I think it's gonna be interesting if
you're annoying as fuck, huh?
For just talking?
Yes.
For saying things that are just dumb as hell, yes.
I don't think it's dumb.
Just talking.
That have zero credence, just saying whatever egg emoji troll would say online.
But you really brought up
no idea
I promise other playoff losses to worse quarterbacks.
You have no idea. I just stepped out for a second to come back to that sentence. Do you know how annoying you are when you talk? I'm like, fuck. I was like, I wanted. Now I'm just gonna listen back.
The guy has a home playoff loss for Ryan Tannehill on his resume.
He just said that if Lamar won MVP, it would be a bad look to have all these MVPs. I mean, it would be a bad look.
Peyton had 2 before he won his first.
And he won 1. That's our point.
Did you hear my sentence, dumbass?
Do you?
No, you're the dumbass.
I literally said he won 2 before his first.
I know.
Do you know what's never going to be talked about, by the way, Clemmer?
That devalues your whole point.
If he won 3, and then there would be probably a conversation for 1 or 2 years, and then 10 years from now, gun to my head, Lamar is going to win 1.
I agree.
Gun to my head, Lamar wins 1.
Has there been a 3-time MVP with no Super Bowls?
I think it's fun. Just because
probably Dan Marino.
I don't know if Marino won 3.
I didn't get 3 MVPs.
Just because it's fun, Dukes, I want to be on the opposite side of that argument.
There's not many 3 MVPs as a problem in football.
If you give me
Brett Favre, Peyton.
Yeah, probably not. If you give me the odds, I would say none of these guys in the AFC win a Super Bowl during Mahomes' peak. That's the kind of the opposite, the contrarian take I want to take.
Can I have a take to your take? Yeah. I fucking hate your take about this so goddamn bad, and it gets pushed down my throat every fucking Friday when we talk about Mahomes. How you're like, what if nobody won one? It's gonna fucking happen. It's exactly. I think that I have the Fights take. I saw Fights had this take about the Mahomes becoming the GOAT. It's could he pass Brady? Sure. I don't think that right now the conversation it's trickling up, but he still has a long way to go. I'm not rooting for or against it in any way. If it happens, it happens. But if Reed just decides to retire, like these guys could. Like,
I agree.
There's a lot of shit that has to happen.
There's a little bit of a chicken and an egg type of thing. They go together. I agree with that. Yeah, if you really told me like gun to head,
like do you think
these young guys are gonna win? I do think Allen or Lamar or Burrow will steal one. It's just how it goes. They can't get every bounce.
Right.
They can't get every break.
More so it took Allen.
Brady didn't win one for 10 fucking years.
What's gonna
and he was the best ever. So
what's gonna piss
Allen
you off?
also like Allen in the AFC East, like again, I'm sticking up for my guy Drake May here, but like there are just young quarterbacks in general that are gonna come up and be like the next Josh Allen and stuff, like Drake May, Jaden Daniels. You got Bo Nix. You got like Caleb Williams. You got all these Herbert. Like you got John Harbaugh with Herbert. Like there's just all these quarterbacks that like, and look at like what Stafford did in LA. It took one fucking year for the entire narrative on him to switch.
Yeah.
Phil, you hold it against like Ken Griffey Jr. for not winning?
No, because baseball is entirely different.
All right.
Because you could be the best baseball player ever, and you're only
Mike Trout.
You could be you only have 3 or 4 opportunities to affect a game.
So do you hold it against other guys like say like Eddie George or any of these other football players that didn't?
No,
win?
because the quarterback's the most valuable position
so it's
on the
only
field.
quarterbacks you have this standard.
I was listening to the show and
you're gonna be enraged.
Uber and I got enraged.
Yeah.
I had to come in. I have to leave again early, but like I came in. He said that it would be like embarrassing if he had 3 MVPs.
Yes,
It'd be a bad look.
Bad luck.
So would you rather have
should be
0
ashamed.
MVPs?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Super Bowls?
As opposed to 0 MVPs.
You'd rather like Mark Rippon or like
Would you rather have 2 MVPs in a Super Bowl or no Super Bowls and 3 MVPs?
Well, if you're Cam Newton, 3
But
MVPs.
obviously you want 2 MVPs in 1 Super Bowl. Like it's just not in. Like he can't choose.
I'm saying it'd be unprecedented, I think, to have 3 MVPs and no Super Bowls. I don't think there's ever happened before. If I'm wrong, someone can correct me.
Wouldn't that show that it's like not totally his fault? Like it
No,
might.
because you could have just playoff failures. Like Peyton Manning was an awful playoff performer for several years, and he had 2 MVPs, and that's all he talked about. It's like, oh, Peyton can't win the big one.
That was also too again, and obviously we're going back to like mid 2000s here, but also a big factor that played into that was that the Patriots always had like this elite defense, and the Colts defense for a while was bad.
And what does
that was part of it? But that's just football. Like that's like the reality of football.
What does Kansas City have?
An elite defense.
Yeah,
also an elite.
But it's my point. That's just the reality of football. Sometimes, like you're gonna be a better quarterback, and the other team just be better. Like both things can be true. Like at given points.
But also, Chiefs offense. If you like. It's only because of Mahomes. Like they don't have the best offense. Like the Lions have a way better offense than the Chiefs.
Sure, no doubt.
Like I even think the Ravens have a better offense to the. I think it's closer. I think that
for a lot of years though, they did have an elite offense
with like Tyreek Hill. You're saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying now.
It's actually wild because their offensive line wasn't as good, and now their offensive line's really good. Yeah. And then it wasn't as good. They had better skill position players.
That's what's remarkable. If fucking Allen, Burrow, Jackson, and Herbert are all sitting around dinner right now. And like, when could we take the Chiefs' offense wasn't that good this year.
Oh,
didn't
comparably
pass 30 a bunch of times. Yeah, comparably. So it's like when you look at your opportunities, how could we pass them? This was the one. The offense was fucking down.
But the defense is great, though.
The defense is great.
It's hard to score on them.
It is hard to score on them. You're right. Yeah, it is. You're right. I guess it's
they play complimentary ball.
But my point was the offense. The offense was down.
You're also getting your number one receiver.
Lamar. Mahomes didn't even have that great of a season.
No, not in his standards.
Very mid.
Yeah, not in his standards.
You had number one receiver get hurt. Your number one running back got hurt. You took Kareem Hunt off the couch, and now he's just like the starting running back. It's just like doesn't matter who they plug in, it works.
I think there's also guys are like, what do we have to do? What more could we do?
That's also Andy Reid, just like whoever. Literally, I think like one of us could be on the team, and he'd figure out some way to have us open.
And Spagnuolo,
not every night, but
Spagnuolo's incredible too.
I think he's the most underappreciated person in the organization.
I just want to switch over a minute. We talked Reid. What is he banned from winning Coach of the Year?
Yeah,
yes.
If you ask anybody who's the best coach in football, you'll say Andy Reid.
But that's kind of what happened to Lamar to a smaller degree. Is that he's won so many times? Like sometimes it's just nice to give it to somebody else.
Voter fatigue.
Like Belichick wasn't going to win Coach of the Year over.
Jordan stopped winning MVPs.
Like Mahomes is still the MVP, and in realness,
right.
Yes, totally.
He is the most valuable
that's
player.
A great point.
And then, but he's not going to get it because Mahomes has to have an insane year to ever win it again. Like LeBron should have won it like 5-10 years in a row almost.
Michael Jordan.
Do you think a voter should stand their ground and vote Mahomes every year. By that rationale of like, who is the most valuable player?
Tell me this, how stupid the awards are. How did Lamar not win Offensive Player of the Year?
His stats weren't that good.
Lamar's?
I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, you said Lamar. I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Yeah, Lamar. Like, why? Well, if he didn't win MVP, and he was 4 points away from MVP, and Saquon wasn't even in second, how did Saquon win?
The whole thing is
it's just so stupid.
That's what I mean. That's what
I agree. I think awards in general are very, very dumb.
How did Jamar Chase not even get a single first place vote for Offensive Player of the Year? He won a triple crown.
You were the biggest, like, they were 8-8 or whatever.
You were against the Bengals.
But like that's MVP and Offensive Player of the Year is two different things.
Oh, thank you.
That's what I mean. Like, one, you're saying value. One, you're just talking talent.
Also, we ended up going to that.
Well, Saquon had a better, like, all.
What I'm saying is, like, Jamar Chase had
he wasn't
zero
in the
first place
conversation.
votes.
No,
Saquon wasn't in the
By the
conversation
way-
for MVP. He got 0 votes.
That's great. By the way, we're talking about conversations.
Zero first
We're
place
talking about
votes.
conversations. We're literally having a conversation
Yes.
about the MVP after Josh Allen won it. So you motherfucker were so
Which
goddamn
was,
wrong.
it was ridiculously close, too.
Anyone congratulate
Votes were
me yet or
crazy
no?
close.
Well,
No one
dude.
congratulated
That's
me?
all.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
We did.
Can I get a congrats? Can we get a
congrats?
congrats? Can I get a congrats on saying there was a conversation?
Can I get?
No, we all
get a congrats
Yo,
then.
fine.
Me,
Congrats.
Phil.
Congrats.
Phil,
Congrats.
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 Can I get a congrats on having a minus 400 MVP vote?
No.
Okay. Fine, thank you.
Also, I also think comeback player of the year shouldn't be like, even like Joe Burrow knew he shouldn't. Like,
He's won it twice
he
now.
shouldn't. Yeah, his speech was very funny. He's like, I don't think it's a good thing to say that I've gotten this now twice. It's like I don't think that it should be. Do you think it should be when someone like Sam Darnold should have won it
Yes.
in a way where it's
But see,
he was so bad. Like we know Joe Burrow's really good, and like I know he was hurt and he came back. Of course, I guess that's what it means. But like, I mean, we had a guy die last year. He didn't win.
He's been nominated twice
Marty,
too.
I think it
Well,
should
Joe
be.
Flacco last year was the ultimate.
But that's
that was the epitome to me of
I
comeback
agree
player.
with that. But I'm saying
Sam
like,
Darnold, what's he coming back from? He always
Well,
sucked.
that was going to be my argument.
But that's what
he never
it is.
had anything to begin with.
But that's what it is. When you suck and you're really good,
You
that's,
come back from your career.
That's comeback player of the year for me. Like
They need to change it to most improved, like the NBA.
That's different.
There should be a most
That's
improved.
Most
player.
improved Darnold should
Darnold
win.
could be it.
Comebacks, he should not win.
I think there should be a most improved.
Because comebacks, like literally any good player that gets hurt, they're obviously gonna be good again.
Yeah, like we knew Joe Burrow was going to be like he
Yeah.
hurt his hand last year. He was going to be just
Aaron
fine.
Rodgers got a second place
2025.
vote.
It's 2025. It's like,
He's crazy.
Tim
right?
Patrick getting 3 first place votes. Hats off to him. Like, that's a guy that's a legitimate comeback player.
Go for Tim Patrick.
For Tim Patrick. But yeah, you're right. Like Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
Second place vote.
Look, Aaron Rodgers had like a similar year to Mahomes.
Actually, Rodgers won 3 MVPs as well.
But
Four have been
But he won
he won
though.
a Super Bowl.
So.
No, I'm saying all the guys we
Oh,
listed, they all won a Super Bowl.
yeah.
He's gonna be.
It's a bad look for him. Those 3 MVPs, right?
Yeah, no, not enough Super Bowls.
he has
Not enough Super
Poopy.
Bowls.
he has
Poopy.
4.
Oh, even worse.
Here's
gross.
4.
I mean, it is bad luck for Rodgers. Only has 1 Super Bowl.
It's not a bad
Pey-
look.
Pey-
for
Only
dumb
1 Super
fuck.
Bowl. Aaron
Peyton
Rodgers
has
only
5.
5.
Rodgers has 4.
Favre is 3.
Brady has 3. Brady should have had 4.
Meek has a statement he wants to make. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's a bad look that Aaron Rodgers only has 1 Super Bowl in his career. I think
agree
we've
with that.
been talking about that forever.
4 MVPs.
And only 1 Super Bowl.
That's a bad look.
Yes, it's a bad
All right,
look.
tell him that when
It's a
he
bad
also
look he's never even played in
Hall of
another Super
Famer.
Bowl.
Rodgers stole the last one from Brady.
Rodgers has had
An insane
early
year though.
exits,
That last
too.
year. That last
So
one.
did Brady.
What was it? What were Brady's stats?
I mean, I don't remember off the top of my head. I just remember.
I
Being
just
like, Brady
remember.
should've won.
I just remember Rodgers having some
should know his
ridiculous, like
stats.
have like. Rodgers had like 40 touchdowns and like 3 picks, like something ridiculous.
I wasn't wearing the double Brady jersey.
Duke should have like
split.
the play.
Yeah, I
call.
wasn't wearing that split
Should have
jersey.
this play call the stats on your arm.
Imagine Meek for walking around Canton, Ohio. That's a bad look.
Are you
That's a bad stats.
This is literally the Hall of Fame of Aaron Rodgers.
That's 4 MVPs.
This is the Hall of Fame of
That's a tough
Aaron Rodgers' career. Aaron Rodgers didn't even have fucking like a Mahomes or Brady in his conference until he had Brady like the last 2 years.
Yeah.
What does that matter?
What are you
But,
talking
like,
about?
No, I
you're
think that
saying-
matters. It's easy.
What?
It's certain conferences are easier to navigate.
Yeah.
Doesn't
You
matter,
still gotta
though.
win the
You
Super
still
Bowl.
win,
You still gotta
you
play
still
the
play
NFC.
the other side. And like the fact, like, why are we talking about it? You can.
What did Rodgers get to? Rodgers got to.
He won a Super Bowl and never got back.
Yeah.
He only got to 1, right?
Yeah,
I was
one
mixing
ring
them up. I always mix up with
many people
Roethlisberger.
never get to a Super
Roethlisberger
Bowl?
lost 1-2 and lost the 1.
See,
2 Rodgers. I always
Roethlisberger's
mix
even
it up.
tainted to me. I was talking to
well,
a friend
for a lot
about
of
this.
people.
Like Jalen Hurts got back to the Super Bowl. For Rodgers.
Tainted, and his thing is his Super Bowls too, which like this doesn't. For me, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but the fact that he never beat the Patriots going to a Super Bowl discredits it for me.
You know who only cares about that? Patriots fans.
Yeah.
That's it.
What about winning?
Like no. In the conversation, sorry, I should add this. That's why I have Eli Manning over Ben Roethlisberger.
But what about winning Super Bowl
MVPs?
You're 2-0 in the Super Bowl against pretty much the best team in the NFL, and you don't get in. You don't get in the what are we doing?
Well, yeah. So for those not in the loop, Eli did not get in last night on the first ballot. If anyone missed that, but yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
So do you think there's anything to him not being a first ballot Hall of Famer?
The voting just doesn't make sense.
What?
Do you think there's anything to him not being a first ballot Hall of Famer?
What do you need to do to be first? Like,
well, I mean, he's not one of the
stats
great.
were not great.
He's not one of the great quarterbacks of all time. He's probably in that next tier.
He's the best, like one of the best playoff quarterbacks. You could say that.
Yeah, but then you could also say he didn't play many playoff games.
But to me, it should be the combo of the playoff success and he's like top 10 all time in yards.
Oh, but that doesn't matter. The game changed.
But that does matter,
because you wait 5 years, he won't be top 10 anything because the game is moving so fast.
What's he going to be in the top 13?
Yeah, but then you wait 5 years and he'll be out of the top 20. I mean,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I do.
If Terry fucking Bradshaw's in the Hall of Fame, Eli deserves
Terry Bradshaw has 4 rings, bro.
I think Eli's
4
2.
rings.
I think Eli's 2 match up with more people's like 3, 4.
That's just crazy. Terry Bradshaw was on 4 Super Bowl rings as a quarterback. That is not the.
When you had people smoking cigarettes at halftime.
All right, great. It's a different time. But, regardless of how you feel about what was going on,
I
it's
know,
also, none of us were alive to see those games, so it's a little hard for us to start judging it.
I just think if you want to get deep in the weeds with that, I guess the argument would be I think Bradshaw was on, better teams than Eli was on.
No, that's not even a debate. You're absolutely right.
I think that's where,
not even a debate.
But, no, obviously, obviously a Giants fan. Eli Manning's probably my favorite athlete of all time, so... It was one of those, I was so hurt by it, I didn't even, tweet. I genuinely was sitting there, me and my dad just texting this morning, just being this is insane. Can't believe this. Listen, I get it from the argument of he was never an all-pro and this and that, but I think...
But that shows me that
listen, you cannot write the story of the NFL without Eli Manning. That's a fact.
Sounds weird, but
I know you show those stats, but the whole game is different now.
I don't mind.
It doesn't matter, though, man.
You could throw
he can be in the Hall of
interceptions
Fame,
back
that's
then.
fine. Bradshaw can be in the Hall of
It was a
Fame.
different game. I know, but you gotta
Bradshaw
remember
won
all
4.
the rule changes.
Bradshaw won 4 rings. Bradshaw's in the Hall of Fame.
No, I'm not saying that. The stats are mind-blowing
Yeah, but the
every time you
defense
pull
was
them up.
different back
He
then.
used to run the ball
7.
7,000 times. Look up. I wish you could look up.
212 touchdowns to 210
I know, but
interceptions.
Dukes, you actually could cover wide receivers back then. You can't cover them now. It's pass interference. It wasn't really pass interference back then.
But I think it is not. It is.
You gotta remember, it was a different game.
No, it's no. I have no
still
issue
think you
with
could
listen.
intercept the ball.
Bradshaw.
That's not fair to the
Bradshaw
era.
being in the Hall of Fame, fine, no issues. But I do think it's a little unfair to have him in and then be Eli, look at all the picks he threw. This guy, they're talking about his record too. The Giants are really bad the couple of years. The 500.
No, I see you guys.
One Super Bowl?
I know what you guys are doing here. It's also the most important Super Bowl ever because it gave the AFC.
Those are brutal stats.
I guess they are, but
Namath.
you also remember he played 10 years before Bradshaw did.
Yeah, but the game changes.
Namath shouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
In the league.
I don't know if Namath should be a Hall of Famer.
I mean, he should be.
I don't know.
If he doesn't call his shot, he's not in.
I disagree. You got to remember the AFC was looked so far down upon then. The AFC's never going to win Super Bowl. People would say shit like that.
He did pull a massive upset, obviously.
That was it.
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
Eli Manning had one of the most iconic.
Bro, I didn't say
know, but-
Eli shouldn't be in. I never
sorry.
said Eli shouldn't be in.
I know, but I'm saying that's what we're arguing.
No,
I think
two different.
You get in for
upsets, guys.
talent. You get in for talent, or you get in for iconic moments, in my opinion. Eli might not be in for the stat. He wouldn't be in if he didn't have the Super Bowls for sure.
100%.
Oh yeah,
For sure. But if you're asking me, Phillip Rivers fucking shitty ass stats that nobody really gives a fuck about, or Eli Manning Super Bowls,
Eli Manning.
that's Eli Manning.
Eli Manning.
Even
I agree.
if you look at Julian Edelman, if he's down on those Patriots team with his stats, is he in the Hall of Fame? No, but I think he might get in just based off.
Not getting in the Hall of Fame.
He's one of the best playoff wide receivers of all time.
Not getting Hall of Fame.
I think playoff pedigree matters.
Oh, that's fine, but he's not getting the Hall of Fame. Though.
He might not. He might though.
No, I mean, I'm being real. He's not getting in the Hall of Fame. That's just not gonna happen. Look at his stat. There's no chance Julian Edmonds in the Hall of Fame.
I'd give him the nod, though.
I would be stunned. That would shock me.
I think playoff pedigree matters to an extent.
That's fine. It might matter to you, but it's not.
I know. I think it matters to people.
They really just didn't put in Eli Manning. You think
First
Julian
ballot,
Edmonds
though.
gonna smell.
First bout. He'll get in. Eli will get in. He'll get in.
Yeah, no, I think Eli
Honestly,
deserves to get in.
Honestly, what's tough is next year's got a nice crop. Yeah, I feel like he's gonna end up getting squeezed out next year too. And there's a few like big guys next year, like Larry Fitz.
They also changed the rules.
Some like no doubters.
They changed the rules. I mean, this was the hardest year ever to get in.
This was the least amount of guys they took. They only took 4. That's what made it so surprising to me that Eli didn't get in with a class of 4.
Me too.
Like 4 is the minimum. You have
4
to.
is the minimum. People. And you could tell they tightened the belt this year.
Who went in?
Jared Allen, Sterling Sharp.
No, was it Eric Allen got in?
Eric Allen,
Jared Allen, Eric Allen, Sterling Sharp, and
Antonio Gates.
That's right. Gates.
No debate on that. It's a broken system when it's taking a guy 30 years to get into the Hall of Fame. Like, I think is Clemmer the only one here to watch Sterling Sharp vividly remembers him?
Yeah.
I think it's a joke. The guy has to wait 30 fucking years to get in.
It's such a dick. That's actually a fair point.
No, I knew Sterling Sharp as a kid, but I didn't watch.
Hey, that was a nice video, by the way, of him and Shannon. It was a really nice.
Sterling Sharp was a very nice player. His career ended way too soon because of injuries. Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame 10 times over Sterling Sharp.
1,000%. It's just I get it. You're waiting 30 years. Just fucking put the guy in. I don't care. I'd rather Sterling Sharp get in.
I also think voters get in their own
time. But Eli Manning, I think it has to go into it. Is that he was like an underdog in these Super Bowls. I know their defense was really good and won. And the other one, he legitimately won himself. I think that almost makes it more special for him to get in over some other guys. I don't know. I just thought it was crazy. And then if he gets squeezed out again.
Well, who has a better Hall of Fame case, Eli Manning or Adam Vinatieri?
Adam Vinatieri.
What?
Yeah.
That's literally
This is insane.
He's
a fucking kicker.
I think so too.
Here's my point.
But Vinatieri should be in too.
No.
I mean, both should be in.
No. Eli should be in.
Eli should be in before fucking Vinatieri.
Vinatieri to me is crazy.
Two separate arguments. Eli should be in. Name... You talk about the history of
the most important kicker.
Name 10 fucking kickers ever.
Yeah,
Vinatieri's up there.
He's the most important kicker in NFL history,
bro.
He's made the most big
100%
sure.
He won with the Colts.
Yes.
Out of the quarterbacks, he's the Tom Brady of kickers. Eli Manning's not the Tom Brady of quarterbacks.
Vinatieri 100% deserves to be in.
The Tom Brady of kickers is
What
are we talking about?
He did his job.
No, I'm saying
that's like saying
Eli Manning did his job.
Mariano Rivera shouldn't be in because he only pitched 1 inning a game.
Well, Mariano Rivera should be in.
That is fucking different. That's totally different. You know that, and you know that.
Great take.
That's not fair.
You know that.
Let me make my point. Stop.
Why are you saying
not a great take?
So I think Mariano Rivera absolutely should be in. And I think he should have got 100% of the vote. But a lot of voters back in the 70s and 80s when the relievers started being on the ballot said they shouldn't be in because they only pitched a couple innings. They had the same take you're having about Vinatieri was about relievers back then.
No. That is
but it's not fair because Mariano did his job perfectly. And Vinatieri did his job perfectly. If you do your job, you should get in.
Eli Manning did his job perfectly in 2 Super Bowls. That way, again,
the rest of his career he didn't.
But dude, Vinatieri,
Vinatieri was great for a long period of time.
You need everybody else on the team to do well for your kicker to do well.
Absolutely.
So it's and the quarterback needs to do well to even get that fucking kicker.
So there's 2 kickers. There's 2 kickers in the Hall of Fame right now. 2-place kickers. Morton Anderson and John Stenerud. I'm mispronouncing that name. It's before my time. Sorry. Vinatieri has a better Hall of Fame case than either of those guys.
Yeah, how long did it take those guys to get in?
Morton Anderson.
Recently, right?
Got in 2017. 10 years after his career ended. So what's that? 5 years then?
So what's Vinatieri at now?
Or no?
5 or 6. I think Vinatieri was the first year on the ballot.
This is the first year on the ballot, Vinatieri.
Yeah.
Then you can't use the first year ballot then, so then Eli falls under that precipice.
What?
Then maybe Eli you have to wait a couple years because he wasn't that great.
No, the quarterback should get in over Vinatieri on the first ballot. They're on the same. If Vinatieri gets in before Eli Manning, that's crazy to me.
I don't think it is. I think Vinatieri's better at his job than Eli Manning was at his job.
I agree with that.
Eli Manning's job is way more important.
That's the fucking point, guys. What do you mean?
But don't you see the other side of it, though?
It's actually
Vinatieri's the most important kicker ever. Eli Manning's the 28th most important quarterback ever, or whatever.
I can't. I feel like I'm going a little crazy.
Just the value.
I think he deserves to get in, but the value, 100% Eli Manning, it's just so much more value.
2 Super Bowl winning kicks, played for 30.
What? 2 Super Bowl winning throws that got them literally.
I know.
You
got kicks in the talk rule game.
Those things are not equal.
It's not even close.
85 not equal. But he's also the greatest at his job. That matters a lot to me.
But I don't like
kicker is longevity.
It's all he can do though.
consistency.
Yeah, like he's a kicker. He did his job. Like, what more do you want him to do? So then no.
It's not that I want
kicker. So then no kicker should be in the Hall of Fame.
Probably not.
I disagree with that.
In my opinion, probably.
I think
not.
it should take longer for them to get than a fucking quarterback.
I don't know if it. I mean, then it's the first ballot versus how many ballots. If you're a Hall of Famer, you're a Hall of Famer no matter what. I don't know.
To me, like the kicker is just truly so at the mercy of his team. Like, listen, everyone on the team has like other people they need to rely on. Let's like that is what it is. But like if he just is on like a different like the kicks he made, like good for him, he made the kicks. Mm-hmm. But like only one kicker gets like the opportunity to like be in those spots.
I think Harrison Butker,
and they're not really like they're just not like I just don't
Harrison Butker is
the argument I made
Hall of Fame track.
The argument I made for years was like Tucker until Tucker fell off this year. But I'm saying like the trajectory like pre-2024 Tucker, he's kind of a bad guy now too. It's coming out, so whatever. But I'm saying like as a
right.
physically as a player kicking the ball, like I think he's been better in his like the first like 10 years of his career than Vinatieri like ever was in terms of like true ability, like accuracy, distance, like clutch, everything. Like that's went by the wayside a little bit this year as he got older. But also like Vinatieri, it took longer for him to get bad, but Vinatieri got like really bad at the end, like horrible.
Yeah. It does matter a lot. No one makes that kick. The Bills have a ring.
Totally, but I'm saying like that, and that was like dreadful. He missed a 40-yarder. That was embarrassing.
47.
Or 47.
And that was back in the day when 47 was long.
That's right.
It's just
besides last year, besides this year,
spot,
right?
like he was very lucky to get put in that spot and capitalize on it. But just like the kicker, you're so more than any other position by far. You're just at the mercy of like what your team does.
But if you miss that kick, you're also like the most infamous kicker who like missed that kick. Who's the Bills kicker?
I just said.
He just said Norwood.
Right. There's a lot of good kickers
also,
that don't get the opportunity. That would have been the best.
They were tied in a few of those games. What about the guy who matters too, right?
The Patriots?
Yeah, weren't they tied in like two of them?
Yeah, I mean, but he also
I think that matters too because it wasn't like
he was an 85%.
He can miss and the season would still go on.
85% for his career over like 20 years. 20
no, he's a great kicker. It's not me like he's a great kicker.
I just think the argument for like he was in these positions, like I agree that like there's a lot of kickers that like aren't unfortunate enough to be in that position. Like if Chris Boswell is in these positions, like could he be a Hall of Famer for sure? But
that's my point.
Circumstances
he
do
also
matter.
has the most field goals made of all time.
Yes, but then
his longevity was
made the most field goals ever, and he's the most clutch field goal kicker ever. He's the most important field kicker ever.
For what it's
also
worth,
like they were a really good team with you look at the Giants, right? The Giants didn't have like Eli Manning was the reason they won the games. Where it's like he got them. They were a fucking wild card team, and they won the Super Bowl. Like that is so much more value. Where it's like like Harrison Butker is like literally doing what Vinny, like he's making really.
But he's probably a Hall of Famer.
I think Butker's a Hall of Famer.
Why? Yeah,
I think he's a great kicker, but
being a kicker on a pedigree team matters. Matters for every position, honestly. It just matters. Like name kickers of the past 10 years. It's all going to be people that were on perennial teams that you watch during primetime games.
Yeah, that's true.
No, Butker is valuable to the Chiefs. It's not like he's not valuable, but like in the pantheons of like of value on that team, he's very low down. He's like pretty far down the list.
Very low.
I'd probably say he's a top 5 kicker of all time.
It's still lower. Like
value on his team.
But also, he's made 500 less field goals than Vinatieri. 500
well, he's early in his career.
Way early.
But we say way early. He's 29.
Yeah,
I know. I think some can.
Vinatieri played forever.
But when Butker gets 500 more field goals, like this is, I said, you can.
Yeah, if he wins, if he's on, what is this going to be his 4th Super Bowl?
Right.
Third? Fourth. He wins 4 Super Bowls at 29. He's on a better track than Vinatieri.
He's on track for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like a lower value than like how much more impressive is the other people winning 4 Super Bowls than him.
All right, I think we went in the weeds on that. We got to kickers, but
Vinatieri thing I think is important. I mean, I don't think it's in the weeds.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It wasn't off the rails, but it made sense.
To get going, but a couple things. One. The Lakers are really fucking good.
Lakers are nasty.
They're gonna be tough out in the West.
I actually turned that game on for a little bit.
Lakers getting Doncic. I wasn't here. Lakers getting Doncic, by the way, is the most. I know it's the most insane thing.
LeBron looks like he's like excited to play basketball.
He was insane last night.
He was unbelievable. He was like laughing at Draymond. Did you see that clip?
He missed the free throw?
Yeah, he was like on like this.
I was watching the game.
It was so. It's just a he looks like he's got a new lease on life.
Pick Mark Williams and LeBron.
Yeah, and then Austin Reeves. Like it's crazy.
I saw a tweet though, really quick about Mark Williams. That was like, ain't no way all of you guys are watching the fucking Hornets this season.
Yeah, honestly,
that's true.
Valid.
It's such a fair tweet. Well, I would have no idea.
It's still good.
If Mark Williams,
been around for 3 years though.
let me tell you something. If Mark Williams didn't go to Duke, I'd have no idea who he was. I think that's
he's been around for 3 years, and he's hurt all the time. He's been around.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't have no idea who he was if he didn't go to Duke. And I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm gonna tweet. I'm going to Florida right now, and then flying to Scottsdale. I had to put all my bets in already. So that was.
I'll put all mine in too already.
I never do that. I'm a Sunday. You're kind of like that too.
First Super Bowl, I'll put him in all.
My favorite one, I did take Saquon plus 430 to score in both halves.
Oh,
So you didn't do all 4 quarters?
I did that as well, but that's not my favorite one.
All right.
So I have Saquon score in every quarter, but not a parlay. It's every straight. It's 300 in the first quarter, 400 the second, like 5 for it's all that. And yeah, I'm going to face Mason Miller, by the way. So
good luck.
Wish me luck on that.
Good luck.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Marty Bush, ladies and gentlemen, Marty Bush.
All right, so we'll get into the game in terms of like which way you feel on that, but then three kind of storylines I had that you can kind of do quickly. If the Chiefs win, Mahomes' legacy, does that put you? I think you're the better guy to ask the question. Does that put him ahead of Montana? Montana did go 4-0.
Yeah, we're in that ballpark. Then it's
on the medal stand right now. Brady is number 1.
Yes.
I think Montana is 2, but I think Montana's already got a foot down potentially because Mahomes could pass him. So yeah, it's really where do you put the silver medalist? Is
I don't know if I have one ahead of the other right now, but it's maybe both silver medalists. Like the fact that we're talking Montana.
Yeah.
It's rare.
Quick,
yeah. The guy who's under 30.
Yeah.
Where does Mahomes like 29?
For Montana, I'll say we'll give Montana the edge because of legacy, but like knowing damn well next year he's off that fucking.
He's off the pedestal.
Also, remember, Montana had the greatest wide receiver ever. You know, Mahomes doesn't have that. Doesn't have that.
That's true.
Also, just for Bosco just said like the 4-0 thing. That is a society like I never understood that. They do it with Jordan too. It's one of those that I will never understand the rationale. It's not. I'm not like picking on you.
Yeah, right.
Everyone says it, and I just don't understand why you get like basically rewarded for the seasons that you don't even make it to the championship game.
That's a good point. Yes,
I've never understood that.
You could make a case that
it's Jordan versus LeBron. It's the most glaring one, but I've never understood why he almost gets like propped up for only going to the finals 6 times.
I'll throw a better stat at you from
How many finals?
Montana was 16-7.
Jordan's LeBron's been to what 10 or 11?
Yeah, I was gonna say, is LeBron about to double him potentially?
Yeah, I think he's 4
Double
and
him
6
in appearances.
He's
Yeah,
also played more seasons.
He's 4 and 6. Yeah, he's played a lot more seasons. He's 4 and 6 in the finals.
yeah, but his
You
percentage.
don't need to get basketball. It's one of those things that it just made me think of it when you said like Montana's 4-0. Mahomes is either going to be 3-2 or 4-1 after this one. And to me, it's kind of like, why is like
You're right. You should be rewarded for getting there. Yeah.
Why would he be like? Why would 4-1 be like less than 4-0?
Also,
right.
I don't believe this, Clemmer, but I will. Someone's got to say it. Like, yes, Montana has the best wide receiver of all time. Debatably, you could say that Kelsey
is the best tight end.
Is the best
Yeah.
receiving
Mahomes
tight
is
end
the
of all
best
time.
tight end. That's fair.
By the way, Montana is 16-7 all-time playoffs. Going into this game, Mahomes is 17-3.
Yeah, that's
Mahomes
the crazy.
already has more playoff wins than Joe Montana.
He's a fucking alien.
That's where we
I
are.
think Mahomes will. I don't know if Mahomes will catch Brady in Super Bowls because I'm still just saying that. But I think that one thing he will catch him in is potentially playoff wins.
Yeah.
You don't think Mahomes will catch Brady
I was thinking
in Super Bowl wins?
He's saying he doesn't know.
There's a no.
Listen,
I think that's
listen,
fair. It's very hard to
None
win.
of us know anything.
A Patriots fan, I'll have no issue with them holding on to that.
And what I'm saying is not like the crazy. Do I think Mahomes is crazy talented? Yes. Do I think he's the second best quarterback ever? Yes. Like he has all these tendencies, especially like when the stats don't match up. Like he delivers in the fourth quarter, and that's all that really matters in my eyes. Again, it is a lot of the unknowns of like
it's hard to win Super Bowls.
It's hard to win Super Bowls. People coming up. What happens when like Kelsey leaves? Like, do they go get someone like Kyle Pitts and like resurrects his career and like that's just like the way it goes and like he could catch him, but like. That, like, given the core, like, getting older, like, and by the core, I mean, like, the Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and then what happens if Reed just decides to retire in, like, 2-3 years?
Sure.
What happens to Mahomes after that?
It's fair.
The other storyline I had, if the Eagles do win, massive upset, obviously.
I don't think it's a massive upset.
I mean,
okay, yeah, you're right.
It's a pick minus 120. Yeah,
it's a pick 'em. All right, not a massive upset, but a bigger upset in the terms.
Slay the dragon.
You did slay the dragon.
Slay the dragon.
Yes, like that term. Yes, not a big spread. You're right. Fair enough. Sirianni would have a ring.
Yes.
Where does that put Philly fans? Because they didn't love him, obviously, but like
Ryan Day.
Yeah, you're like now you're not. You didn't love him. He doesn't make the best decisions, but he did have a ring. Like I wonder how
I think
Eagles fans are now have to operate.
They got rid of Peterson
with
pretty quick.
Yeah,
he's tough, and he's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. He's never missed the playoffs.
He has a 700 winning percentage.
Yeah, 700 winning percentage. Like at some point you got to give the guy a little bit of credit. I know the roster's loaded. I get all that. If they win this one, he's going to get some credit if they win this one, obviously.
I think if he loses, you have to ease up on him a little bit too.
Regardless, he gets some credit. I mean, you go to 2 Super Bowls in your first. What has he been head coach for 4 or 5 years?
4 years.
4 years.
Phil hit the thing.
Won Super Bowl twice.
Oh,
I mean,
He was doing that on purpose.
No, it wasn't.
If Hurts wins the Super Bowl,
He's in some rare air now.
he would then be ahead of Allen, Burrow, and Herbert.
Yep. In that generation. Yeah, like
You
where
think?
does-
or
No.
No.
In terms of Super Bowls.
Gotcha.
So where does that sit you with?
he's in
Hurts
that
and
camp.
when you start telling the story of Hurts of or where he fits in the current pantheon of guys. You know what I mean? He would have got one, and he would have been one of the only guys. Brady did it on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be a guy who beat Mahomes.
yeah. I mean, to me, he doesn't just jump those guys all of a sudden.
Right, I agree with that.
I think he's still kind of in the group I see him in that 6 to 10.
Yeah.
I think that's still where he is.
I don't know. He's 26, right? So he win the Super Bowl. He's 26. He's 46-20 in the regular season.
I'd been to 2.
But this is where I get thrown off because before the year started, we were beating the drum for him, and it was you and Kendrick who were he doesn't deserve it. He's not even top 10. And then now it's all of a sudden
I was a Jalen guy.
Then we have the whole thing where when me and Marty weren't here, you guys did your top 10, and we had Jalen Hurts 5, and you guys were that's ridiculous.
Oh, maybe I didn't have a 5. It's probably not. But I think I have him top 10.
But I just said 6 to 10, and you were I don't know. No.
I was very high on the Eagles this year.
Because to me, I still think when you look at quarterbacks, you have to evaluate the entire situation, and you have to put yourself the 5 guys I'm saying who are ahead of them. If you put those guys on the Eagles team, I think they're better. If Joe Burrow's the Eagles quarterback, they're better. If Josh Allen, Lamar, if he's the Eagles quarterback, they're better. Stafford, even I still think he's a better thrower. Now Hurts is a dual threat, and that helps his game obviously, and that's where I think he slides in right in that 6, 7.
So who do you have at 5?
I mean you're in a debate with him at 5. I mean.
We didn't have him on there at all.
You guys said no. That's what I'm saying. 4 months ago, you guys didn't have him in the top 10.
The people that made this list: Chris Clemmer, Eric Hubbs, Tommy Smokes, and Ken Jack.
He's
not
such
a top 10
dick.
quarterback.
He's such
No,
a dick.
that's fair.
Because you made
No,
2
that's fair.
lists.
That's
Come
fair.
on.
He just the way that your inflection, when you say Chris Clemmer, you gloat.
He's
No, but we had 2 different groups make lists.
I'll own that all day. That's bad on me. I was high in the Eagles. I should have been higher on Jalen.
Yeah.
Because I think he's in that 5, 6, 7 kind of range.
I think that's fair though, right?
Of a pure player.
I think if he wins Super Bowl, he's clearly 5.
He'll get that in stature, but it's still people argue I think a lot of people would still argue Herbert. I don't. Like a Stafford, even not for longevity, but for one game or 1 year kind of thing. I think there'd be a debate. I mean, I guess if you wanted to say a Stroud or something like that, or a Love, I don't know,
if he wins a Super Bowl, he's clearly 5.
Baker, I think I think you'd have to put him above those guys.
I think so too.
But still, I think the top 4 to me is undebatable. Whatever order you want to put him in is up to you. But that 4 is there's a Mount Rushmore and then there's everyone else.
Yes.
There's a drop off.
I think he's clearly 5 if he wins. That's a big deal.
Yeah, no, we had him 5 from the beginning. I had him 5 from the beginning.
This list
That's a better list.
Yeah, well, this is Marty, Smitty, and Ev.
Me.
Well, I give Marty Smitty enough credit. That's a much better list.
How was I not around for list day?
You would have loved this day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You weren't around for either list.
Marty, Ev, and who? And Smitty?
Yeah.
Smitty.
They won that list.
And
for sure.
Smitty was, I remember being very, very stern about he should be number 3.
Smitty was so low on the Eagles early in the year too. He was oh, this has
Yeah, he
dream
said he
team
was going to
vibes.
lose to the Packers.
Well, in fairness to Smitty, though, he got his heart ripped out in that second half last year. That was a tough second.
They also they hit on all their rookies.
hit.
Like Quinyon Mitchell hit massive. Cooper DeJean hit massive.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter took like a massive step forward.
Great free agents with Mekhi Becton.
Zach Vaughn, unbelievable.
Obviously Saquon.
Saquon, unbelievable.
Saquon,
yeah,
sure.
I mean,
I like how the Eagles are like Howie Roseman is the perfect like person, like GM that's just get really good guys in college that are slipping. Like the glaring obvious choice. Like I think someone called, I forget who, someone important called him a Twitter GM. Because like you get that like the Jalen Carter who's like
Jalen Carter dropped in a draft for like reasons but beyond football. Like we don't have to rewrite history.
But that's on him.
A good pick,
that's on him for assessing the risk and
say I'll take him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
in the same
that's on them. They should have did their homework.
It doesn't matter why he dropped, Phil. It matters that he dropped.
In the same sense, I'll contradict you. I'm watching the Dynasty, the Apple TV hit piece that the Patriots had, and I just finished the Hernandez episode where they drafted him in the 4th round with all the character issues. Jalen Carter had a character issue. If something came up, we'd be like, well, why'd you draft him? The character issues are right there. He's reckless driving.
Right.
Like, there's always shit with these players where it's
So
like, there is a risk reward. Yes.
So do we shame 31 teams for not drafting Tyreek Hill before the 5th round because he had character issues?
It's a mistake. They probably should have drafted him.
Right. I
don't like
there's
it.
calculated risk.
That's
and Howie Roseman has nailed all these calculated risks. Is the point?
Yes.
Like that's
Absolutely, you're absolutely right, Dukes.
Yeah,
Actually, the reason you can even say Twitter GM too is because he just drafted like all the Georgia players off the championship teams, and they're all just what a coincidence. They were great in college, and they're great in the NFL.
Right.
Like even Nakobe Dean was an absolute stud in college. Thought he was going to go like in the 1st round. He had a medical thing. There was like a surgery he like didn't want to get. Weird medical stuff. He ends up going in the 3rd round. He unfortunately got hurt like the last couple of games, so he's not playing. But was like an unbelievable player on their team, like one of the leaders of their defense, one of their leading tacklers. Nolan Smith fell like 30th, was like a D end. He's not like their best player, but like a key pass rusher for them. Another guy they got late in the draft. Like,
fits the system.
Yeah, like he's like edge rusher, athletic.
Howie Roseman's incredible.
No,
Incredible GM.
I think nailing calculated risk is the best way to put it.
It's a huge. That's a huge thing in being a GM.
If you don't
everything is about a risk, right?
I mean, they've been to 3 Super Bowls in the last
if you don't nail that Jalen Carter pick, you get fucking crucified.
Yeah, no doubt.
And not only that, but now he's on another team.
True. No,
Playing
it's
against
true.
you. So like it was a huge move by him. Howie Roseman, hats off.
Credit to Charlotte Hornets for taking Brandon Miller number 2 overall, despite all the off the field issues.
He doesn't play on the field.
He doesn't play on a field.
But yeah, to wrap that, that's a great. There's one thing. I interviewed Jerome Tang, and he had a great quote when he talked about recruiting or the way you look at it. You could put that into pro sports as well. He told his assistants, "We can have a guy beat us once or twice a year, but we can't have a guy beat us every day." Meaning the sense that when you get it and he's on your team or it's the bet, you know what I mean? Like you're picking between the two guys. If he goes to another team in the conference, it's like, God damn, we got to play Dukes. He goes for 35 each night.
Sounds
like okay,
me.
but he lose twice. You draft a guy like Big Ev, and it's like, yo, he's beating us every day. You know what I mean? It's just that mindset.
What's your problem?
Whatever. What? I went left. I just went left. Next week we'll go right. It is what it is. All right, so Clemmer, how's the Super Bowl going to shake out?
I love the Chiefs. It's been a couple years this now. It's just like until they give me a reason, I'm not gonna go against them. In fact, I'm even on the Chiefs minus 13.5.
I think that's kind of crazy.
Maybe it is. But like I just like the odds. I think it was. Let me pull it up here. Excuse me. I mean, obviously I took the Chiefs regular. Money line. But the Chiefs minus 13.5 is plus 437. Like, I think it's possible. Plus 400 odds? All right, I'll take that.
I would feel more comfortable laying 6.5 if you were going alternate, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because that could still be a very close game and you win by a touchdown. You know what I mean? And you cover. So that's where I would. The highest I would go is Chiefs minus 6.5.
Yeah, I'm just going to take Chiefs money line. I think it's a close game. It feels like everyone's on the Chiefs, so it's making me nervous. But this is a game. I think I did it last year. I learned my lesson from betting on the Eagles 2 Super Bowls ago. If the Chiefs lose this game, I'm going to place a significant wager on the Chiefs. If they lose this game, I will be able to sleep that night. If I bet on the Eagles and they lose, I won't be able to sleep.
Nope.
I will be so fucking mad at myself. I'll be crashing out on Twitter. I'll be yelling at refs on Twitter. I'll be arguing with Chiefs fans on Twitter. I'll be freaking the fuck out. Again, I also just think the Chiefs, they have the quarterback edge and the coach edge. And I think those are the two biggest things. And it's not just Reed, it's Spagnuolo. I think you've seen time and time again in all these Super Bowls, Listen, they may come back because of Mahomes, but the second half defensive adjustments they make are phenomenal. If you remember what the Eagles did them in the Super Bowl, the first half went up and down the field on them. Second half, they still put some points on the board, but much less. Made adjustments, got after it. The Chiefs' defense is phenomenal. I think they'll just find a way. I think it's going to be higher scoring too. The first one was the total is going down and everyone's on the over, so that also gives me concern. But at my read in this game, I like the over, so I think I'm going to be on the over too.
Just a note on Clemmer's 13.5. Clemmer, do you know the last time an AFC team has won by at least 14 points in the Super Bowl?
Oof! Wow. Ravens, Giants.
The Broncos versus the Panthers a decade ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're on a good run of Super Bowls.
We are.
It's been a while since that's happened.
An unbelievable run of Super Bowls. So.
Yeah, I also really like Kareem Hunt to get a touchdown. He's got a touchdown every single playoff game he's ever played.
I like Hunt too. I think you narrow it down to first half touchdown. You could scroll back on the blog. I have the whole list of blogs. I had a ton of them out there. My favorite prop I do think is Chiefs to come back and win. Floating around like 160, 170, depending on where you're at. You know, you got to be down 3-0.
Yeah,
I got to be down 3-0.
Could be 2-0.
So I put a tiny bit on this. I recommend everybody put a sprinkle on this. Carson Wentz, Super Bowl MVP. It's
yes.
No way.
No,
yes.
Hear me out.
Good fucking call, Connor. I've been saying it for weeks.
Hear me out. It's plus 20,000. So just a sprinkle. Here's the narrative though. If Mahomes goes down at all, and they win, Carson Wentz against his old team, how do you not give it to him? Like I said, it's plus 20,000. A sprinkle, not a lot. I also bet on Mahomes to win MVP. It's plus 120.
You're betting, yeah.
But a sprinkle on Carson Wentz at plus 20,000. I put $20 on it. If I win $4,000. That's worth it to me.
Jerry has talked himself into a little bit of Nico Remigio being the Super Bowl MVP.
Carson Wentz is way better.
Yeah.
You don't like the Carson Wentz? I feel like that's a great narrative.
I think if Carson Wentz comes in, I think the Chiefs have a hard time winning.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
That's fair.
So it's one of those where
I do too.
Well, that's why he's also plus 20,000.
Guys,
I get it. I get it.
Crazy.
I know what the odds are.
Also, he would have to, depending on when he comes, like he'd have to come in in the first quarter?
No,
he could come in at half.
Second half. At half.
Half? Okay, yeah, all right.
How about this one? Kenny Pickett. Also not a bad value pick.
Not a bad pick at all.
Like, what are we...
all right.
No, I'm just we're
just
pointing out some like
scenario.
crazy reaches to throw sprinkle. That's all it is.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's a great
Sure.
pick. I'm saying if you're looking to have a little sprinkle on something, if there's worse sprinkles.
We're getting the Chiefs punt returner for Super Bowl MVP.
I'm not. That's Jerry and Bosco.
Yeah, no, just Jerry. Jerry and Moisty Turtle, to be exact.
Here's a pick I do like that I think is probably more reasonable.
Okay.
Tight end to win Super Bowl MVP is plus 1,400. It can be either team.
I like that.
So it could be Goddard, it could be Kelsey, it could be Gray.
Because you guys were talking the other day about how the Chiefs' defense doesn't defend tight ends that well.
They don't.
And Travis Kelsey, I do think that like having a quarterback win more than 3 Super Bowls with MVP is highly.
And he's never got it. It'd be a nice little cap to his career.
I totally agree. If he gets 10 receptions in the Super Bowl, like I don't see how, and they win. I don't see how he doesn't win MVP.
I'm thinking the same thing. And plus 1,400 is pretty good odds.
I'll tell you an exact scenario where Mahomes throws for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns, and
sure.
I just think
but I think people
not me trying to.
fatigue.
I'm not trying to like.
I also do have it Mahomes too. I have Mahomes plus 120
because like I get it. I just think it's very this isn't exactly a hot take. I just think it's very unlikely that the Chiefs win this game without Mahomes winning the MVP or the Kelsey thing. Like I think for Kelsey to win, it has to be like 10 for like $130 and like 2 scores.
But it's happened before.
And even then, I still because obviously Mahomes is getting all those yards unless your like Wentz scenario came to life. Like Mahomes is also getting all those yards where I think it would almost be like he'd have to throw for like 230 and 2 scores and 130 and both of them were to Kelsey.
I think there's something said
and Kelsey wins.
Voter fatigue though. Like Mahomes just keeps winning. I think your impulse is to give it to somebody else.
I don't know if it is. I don't know if your impulse is to give it to someone else.
Brady in the Super Bowl that Deion Branch went for 354, 3 TDs.
And what did Branch have?
10 for 143.
And no touchdowns?
1 touchdown.
1 touchdown.
So
which Super Bowl was that again? When they played who?
Panthers.
Once again, it's plus 1,400. So like we're just throwing stuff out there.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm on the Chiefs as well.
Also, one other thing.
Heavy Chief props, though.
Since the playoffs started, I've been taking a chunk of every winnings I've had, and I've done very well. I've been on the right side of all but 2 games. I've been putting a little bit on the Chiefs' future to win the Super Bowl. So if the Chiefs do win the Super Bowl, I will be very happy. Yes, Chiefs. If the Chiefs do not win, I'll be very upset on Monday.
Yeah, I know a guy.
I'll come in very sad Monday morning.
I know a guy who has a significant amount of parlays tied to the Chiefs.
Oh, really?
Like, big time. I think I've hinted at it to Ev. Like,
is he going to hedge? This is a hedge spot where like they're like the Eagles are dogs.
He hedged to have
and if you want to
another big time payout.
I think it's the perfect line of like if you want to just take like the shot. I mean, you take the +1.5,
right?
And you pray for like the most magical, glorious outcome of all time.
Exactly.
That Chiefs win by 1.
But no, I think
you're just hit the like.
I think he went money line, and he's got it. He's in a great. He's in a terrific spot now. Because all the first legs of parlays have hit, and he's either going to get a...
Showed me he tied like 12 things to
Bro, he's going to have a boatload on the Chiefs, or he's going to have a nice payout on the Eagles, so it's a great spot.
Good for him.
Yeah, really good. Dukes and Phil, what do you got?
I have, I'll start off with this. I have heads at even odds.
Okay.
I just feel like it's a heads year. If people say tails never fails, tails fail sometimes. This is probably my favorite prop. I take it every Super Bowl. Over 2.5 players with a passing attempt. It's down to +180. It's a Super Bowl. It's the big game. Someone's going to have a trick play.
All right.
Either that or we're going to see an injury and Carson Wentz's dream comes to life. Either way, that's one way to over 2.5 players with pass attempt hits. I'm on the Chiefs money line. I'm some touchdown scores, but nothing set in stone yet. But those are my 3 right now.
Phil met Bonnie Blue, and then all of a sudden he wanted to take head.
I like heads.
Dukes, what do you got?
Oh, all right.
I got Eagles and
Really?
the over.
Okay.
I mean,
Eagles.
I'm on the Eagles.
I respect the contrarian. I don't have the heart for it anymore.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably overthinking this times 10. I took them last time. I think they're better than last time. I think the defense is better. I like the under, but I'm not sure on a total completely yet after like Ev was talking, but I am going to take the Eagles in this one.
All right.
Really based off the defense. There's only 2 returning starters from that defense I played a couple years ago.
I just added one more. Special or defensive team touchdown scored +290. The last time these two teams played, Hurts had the fumble.
Yeah, Nick Bolton.
So you know what? I'll take that again, +290.
I like that.
And then some plays tonight. I got I love this one. I took Dayton +2 early last night. It's at -1 now. We're playing VCU, our rival, at home.
Limited slate tonight. Why is that Horizon League
It's great
not playing
games.
tonight?
There's great games.
Yeah,
tonight.
good games though.
I mean, one big one. What are the other ones?
Two
Few
big
good
ones.
ones.
2 big
You
ones.
got, like St. John's, UConn.
St. John's, UConn, Dayton, VCU is a rivalry game. Like
Yeah,
we fucking hate VCU.
Yeah.
Purdue, USC. You got some big conference games.
Limited slate, though. There's usually
Yeah,
more
only like
on. Yeah.
7
St. Joe,
games.
St. Louis is a good one in the
Yeah.
A10.
Yeah, not bad. I thought the Horizon League would have been playing.
If St. John's beats UConn, like, are they going to be like a 1 seed in like the actual tournament? Like, where are they
No.
like in
No,
bracketology?
they can't get there.
They probably would move from like right now, like probably like a 6-5 to like a 3-4.
Wow.
Depends
They're
on like,
close.
it depends what happens with
They're
like, other,
that fucking good?
I mean, they've one loss in conference.
If they win tonight, they'd be really sitting pretty to win the regular season Big East.
I had
Yes.
no idea they were that good.
Yeah.
But UConn, but this is I'm betting UConn tonight. That's why
I'm on St. John's.
I'm on UConn.
This is I'm getting together with friends. We're watching Dayton and St. John's, and I want them both to win.
Phil, you could zoom
But I do
in.
like Dayton a lot.
Phil, you could zoom in a little bit in terms of like peeling the curtain back, like personal problems and stuff like that. I've had some issues like with my laundry. Like my wife has been limiting like where I can find my clothes and stuff like that. So I can only kind of wear what's accessible. For Tuesday night, the only thing I had clean was a Marquette sweatsuit. It was literally the only thing in my closet. And then tonight, I only have certain things available. So it's
Oh,
like
my goodness.
we're having trouble with
Look at this.
It's a coincidence.
It's only
You could zoom in on the pants, Phil, if you want. Like again, I had one pair of pants clean.
Oh, my God.
It's just
that's wild.
All right, easy, Phil.
I like
It's
it.
a family show. It's a family
Close
show.
up right there we go.
Family show. It's a family show.
This is not Mr. Jerry.
It's a family show. All right, that is.
They're gonna be some also a couple of things. First off, Kirk and Jeff Diola are gonna be at that game.
I know. Yeah.
And Mutt.
Yep.
And Pat Mahomes, I have him anytime touchdown +340.
Okay.
I like that too.
So I'll tweet out the full. I'll
tweet it out too.
I'm gonna have some Goddard props and like I think Mahomes like over rushing attempts. I think I'm gonna be on and some stuff like that. But I'll tweet out a disgustingly long card on Sunday.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just looked at the NBA slate. I might have to take one. OKC is -20 tonight against the Raptors.
20?
Well, they just made trade. The Raptors just made trades.
I'm going OKC -20.
I saw a college basketball Twitter is very.
Shay's also been going like
Detroit
nuclear.
+4.
The Cavs are -18.5 on the road versus the Wizards.
We didn't even talk.
Wizards made those trades, though.
Cavs made a great
I
trade.
thought the Wizards
I think the Cavs made a great trade.
Great trade.
I mean, if Kyle Kuzma was playing for the Wizards, so what would the line be instead of 18?
I think
No,
that-
but
I
like
think
Marcus Smart's
We were
not
talking
there
yesterday
yet.
how I don't think they're a threat to the Knicks. I now do.
Hunter's a good piece. That's a big piece.
Yeah. I saw some college basketball people mad about tomorrow. The fact that they shifted around the schedule. The Lakers Saturday night is like a game on TV.
4 o'clock in the late, and Luka might not. He's probably not even gonna play.
Wait. It's at 4 o'clock
I'm pretty sure.
I
Yeah.
Luka's still not going to play?
tomorrow.
It's 4 o'clock somewhere.
Why
It
is
is
it Luka-
4 o'clock tomorrow.
Why
What?
is it Luka
5
playing?
o'clock somewhere.
What's he doing?
They do Saturday day games.
Well, Luka's rehabbing still.
yeah, I don't know,
Like, he's
that's
probably
weird.
be next
Luke
Monday.
hasn't played in a while.
Yeah, since
I
Christmas.
know.
They usually
Auburn,
have the big
Florida
one Saturday
tomorrow.
night. That's kind of weird.
What big
Well,
what?
yeah, it's
NBA
Like the
game?
big NBA
Well,
game.
Knicks Celtics
Knicks
is
Celtics.
8:30.
All right, yeah, I guess that's weird.
When's Anthony
Whatever.
Davis coming back?
But Luka's not
I think
playing.
he's gonna play like soon. Like I think
Is he?
they said maybe Monday. He might.
Oh, that soon?
I think right, Meek.
Yeah,
Didn't they
Monday
say-
is the plan.
They said Monday was like the latest probably that he was
All
gonna
right,
like.
all right,
probably.
There's not a
Yeah.
great slate tomorrow.
Also, not to.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Nice
It's
one
not
for them
great.
yesterday.
Luka's not
no idea.
playing tomorrow, which also pisses
There's
people off
3
too.
really good games to watch out for: Florida, Auburn, Texas Tech at Arizona to close tomorrow night. It's gonna be
I
awesome.
kind of like. Yeah, I'll do
Some
my
good early
I'll
games
do my
tomorrow.
tweet about the nice comfy blanket for Texas Tech, Arizona.
Thank God.
UFC will be
Bama,
on.
Arkansas will be interesting.
Yo, if you look at Arkansas and Kentucky's resume side by side, they're not that different. Kentucky has better wins, but in terms of record, pull them up or pull up the records. We'll close out on that.
Which website should I use? Do you have a good one?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you can pull it up. Ken.
What's the quad one? All right.
Oh, bball.net or some shit.
That's just GoDaddy.
Yeah, I don't have it, but there is a way to get quad 1 wins.
Wait.
This is great radio.
Yeah, and we're filling. You got to do the.
Loss,
I just
loss,
Win.
win.
What do you think, dog?
Go to bballnet.com is the best one to use. All right, so who's this? Kentucky?
Yeah.
All right, so Kentucky obviously has the Duke, Gonzaga, and Florida wins, and Texas A&M and Tennessee. So Kentucky's got a handful of wins
Kentucky's
like that.
been bad lately, huh? This is
Yeah,
good.
4 and 5 in the conference. Now click Arkansas. Arkansas does have Michigan. I don't think they have as many wins. Arkansas is 14 and 8, very similar. They don't have the. All right, it's not as close as I thought. Texas and Kentucky are good wins. Georgia's good wins. Kentucky has them based on a better resume, but they're very similar.
Are they getting it? They're getting in the
Kentucky's in no matter what.
How about,
Arkansas,
Arkansas.
not right now.
No?
But they have. I really do. But they have Arkansas has the ability every night to get big SEC wins, so they can move.
I'm gonna look. Let me see.
I was in Lexington, Kentucky during that game, and people were getting back to the hotel because I was looking for purple hats. The Kentucky fans were so mad getting back to the
Yeah, bro, they live in.
One guy's like, I need to have a smoke after that
Yeah.
game. He was mad.
They live in.
That was a brutal one for them.
People, I've never seen a city rally around a team. I would say half the people there were wearing Kentucky garb. It was I've never seen anything like it. Literally half.
No, that's all.
And I lived in New England during the Patriots run. This was crazy.
It's not that different.
That's what I'm
7
saying.
and 6. I mean, they definitely have more quad 1 wins. 3 and 6.
Right.
Arkansas is 3 and 6. They're 44. I mean, Arkansas is on the bubble.
If they keep winning, they definitely have a shot.
They get a shot every night in the SEC.
Exactly. And if
every
you're just
night.
improving, I'm going to do something really quick. Just when we're on the air, I'm going to do Bart Torvik and see how they've been the last month.
Also, you think if Calipari's on the bubble, he's not getting the nod over somebody else?
I know.
No, probably.
100%.
It's just good narrative.
100%. Or they put Calipari in a play-in game?
Oh, that'd be
Boost
like,
the ratings on a
absolutely.
Tuesday, Wednesday? 100%. So that's where we're at. Yeah, limited
Wait.
slate tomorrow for college, but I think everybody's just gearing up for the Super Bowl. Obviously.
So big win for the Buckeyes last night.
Big win for the Bucs.
Comeback big. That's a 20 win.
Yep.
Was down I think 14 the second half. Came back, beat Maryland.
Big win.
Bruce Thornton's incredible.
Yeah.
We're 20 bound. Buckeyes
Yeah.
are 20 bound. We're coming.
All right, so that wraps up the season in terms of football. Fridays we'll be back Monday to recap the Super Bowl.
Wait, I'm trying to look for Arkansas, how they've been the last.
A
They're
nation,
really
a
bad.
nation hangs in the balance.
No, seriously. Can't really find them. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Is what it is. All right, the Yak is rocking now. in New Orleans. And Barstool Live tonight.
Yes.
Yep.
Gruden, Big Cat, Dave. I think Greg Olson stopping by from what I heard last night. Or
Please watch Rat Race if you haven't already.
Yep. Check that out.
Really good.
And we will see you Monday.